Friends, imagine you know exactly what to do. Your goals are crystal clear to you, but you still repeat the same mistake every day. Procrastination, distraction, excuses. And at the end of the day, you ask yourself just one question. Why do I lack discipline? If you've ever asked yourself this question, this video isn't just for you. It's for the turning point of your life. Because today we won't sell you false stories of motivation. Today we'll talk about the mindset that keeps working even when motivation is dead. Today we talk about the discipline mindset, that thinking, that internal system, which creates the real difference between average people and extraordinary achievers. This video won't give you feel-good words. It will make you mentally uncomfortable. Because true discipline isn't born from comfort. It's born from discomfort. If you truly want to know how some people take action every day without mood, without excuses, without external push, pay attention now because this isn't an intro. It's a mental wake-up call. In this video, you'll learn that discipline isn't a gift you're born with. It's a trained behavior that any person can develop if they understand the right principles. You'll learn why relying on motivation is the biggest mistake and why disciplined people take action first. Feeling comes later. We'll talk about habits, but not surface-level tips. Rather, the invisible systems that control your daily choices, whether you realize it or not. You'll also understand why your mind loves the comfort zone so much and how disciplined people rebel against that very comfort every single day. After this video, discipline won't feel like punishment to you. It will feel like freedom. The freedom that frees you from distraction, frees you from excuses, and frees you from self-doubt. If you're a student, a trader, a creator, or simply someone who wants to bring consistency into their life, there's something in this video for every level that will click inside you. But one thing is clear. This video isn't for people who watch half and leave. If you truly want to reprogram your mind, if you want to understand why disciplined people think differently, act differently, and achieve long-term wins, then watching this video till the end is essential. Because with every passing minute, your perspective will shift. And by the end, you'll ask yourself, do I really want to become disciplined or do I just want to hear about it? If you don't fall into that second category, watch this video fully. Don't pause it and be honest with yourself. And if you feel that deep, practical, mindset-shifting content like this is essential for your life, then subscribe to the Listening Library channel right now. Because here we don't just give you book summaries. We bring their thinking, their psychology, and their power into your life. Subscribing isn't just a button, it's a decision in favor of your future self. So let's leave excuses right here, mute the distractions, and begin this journey with the discipline mindset. Chapter 1. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Most people are stuck in the same trap in their lives. I'll work when I feel like it. I'm not in the mood today, I'll be more motivated tomorrow. But the truth is, motivation is unreliable. It comes, it goes, and often disappears exactly when you need it most. Discipline stands exactly where motivation breaks down. Discipline is not an emotion, it's a decision. A decision that's repeated every day, whether you feel like it or not. Mentally strong people don't let their actions be controlled by their feelings. They don't wait to feel driven from within today. They simply decide the work needs to be done, and they do it. Discipline doesn't mean punishing yourself. Discipline means protecting your future. When you're disciplined today, you're gifting your future self a better life. Motivation mostly comes from external things, a video, a speech, a quote. But discipline is internal. Is someone watching or not? Will someone praise you or not? Will you get results immediately or not? Discipline is independent of these questions. Discipline forces you to take action even when no one's clapping, when no one's cheering, and when progress isn't visible. This is why disciplined people seem boring. Their routine is predictable. Their life doesn't look flashy. But in the long run, it's exactly these people who create results. Discipline doesn't give you excitement. Discipline gives you consistency. And consistency is what turns average effort into an extraordinary outcome. If you look closely, failure often isn't due to lack of talent, and it's not due to lack of information. Failure is mostly due to lack of discipline. People know what they need to do, but they don't do it, and the reason is simple. They've trained their mind to choose comfort. Developing discipline isn't a one-day job. It's a slow process where you have to repeatedly go against your comfort. In the beginning, your mind will show resistance, give excuses, try to convince you to quit for today. But every time you choose discipline, you're rewiring your mind. You're teaching it that emotions aren't the boss. Decisions are the boss. The most powerful aspect of discipline is that it builds self-trust. When you keep the promises you make to yourself, your confidence naturally grows. You no longer need extra motivation because you know that you're the kind of person who gets things done, no matter the circumstances. This self-image slowly becomes your identity. And when discipline becomes your identity, life changes. Then you're not afraid of distraction, you don't fight excuses, you simply ignore them, because a disciplined mind knows that short-term comfort can never outweigh long-term success. Remember, motivation can get you started, but discipline is what carries you to the finish line. If you truly want to become mentally strong, stop searching for motivation and start practicing discipline. Right now, from this very moment. Chapter 2. Your habits are your hidden identity. Most people want to change their lives, but they don't take their daily habits seriously. They think big change will come from some big decision or some one dramatic moment. But the truth is, the direction of your life is decided by the small actions you take every day. This is where discipline begins, with the habits you've made automatic. What you do repeatedly slowly becomes your identity, whether you consciously notice it or not. Mentally strong people don't leave their habits to chance. They know that if habits are uncontrolled, willpower will lose every time. That's why the real game of discipline doesn't start with motivation. It starts with designing your environment and routine. How strong you are matters less than how well structured your daily life is. If your environment is distraction-friendly, discipline will keep breaking, no matter how good your intentions are. Every habit begins with a cue, a time, a place, an emotion. After that comes the action, and then a reward. Once you understand this pattern, discipline no longer feels like a burden of self-control. It works like a smart system. Mentally disciplined people don't ask themselves, should I do it today or not? They've already made that decision beforehand. Habits eliminate decision fatigue, and that is the foundation of mental strength. Often people try to apply discipline in the wrong place. They force themselves. Be strong, focus, don't get distracted. But disciplined people take the opposite approach. They remove distractions, reduce friction, and make the right action easier. When the right habit becomes easy and the wrong habit becomes difficult, discipline becomes natural. The most dangerous aspect of habits is that their effect isn't immediately visible. Skipping a workout for one day doesn't ruin your body. One day of broken focus doesn't sink your career. But when these small breaks start happening every day, damage accumulates silently. Discipline teaches you to feel future consequences in the present moment. Mentally strong people value long-term identity over immediate comfort. When you build disciplined habits, you send your mind a message every day. I do what I decide to do. This message slowly becomes a core belief. You start seeing yourself as reliable, not weak, and this self-trust is far more powerful than motivation. Habit-based discipline doesn't mean perfection. Mentally strong people fail sometimes too, but they don't make the same mistake 2 days in a row. Their rule is simple: never miss twice, because consistency doesn't mean being flawless. It means getting back on track quickly. In the end, discipline isn't one heroic act. Discipline is those silent habits you keep doing even when no one's watching. If you change your habits, your discipline will become automatic. And when discipline becomes automatic, mental strength stops being an effort and becomes an identity. Chapter 3. Control your mind before you try to control your life. Most people want to change their lives, but their attention always stays on external things. Better opportunities, right timing, supportive people, perfect conditions. They believe that once everything outside is fine, everything inside will be fine too. But mentally strong people think the opposite. They know that as long as the mind is chaotic, life will stay chaotic too. The real starting point of discipline is inside, not outside. Your mind sends you signals every moment: fear, laziness, doubt, excitement, boredom. If you react to every signal, your life will start running on autopilot. Mentally disciplined people don't react, they observe. They don't treat their thoughts as facts, but as temporary suggestions. This awareness is what gives them control. Control doesn't mean suppressing thoughts. Control means deciding which thought to act on and which not to. One big reason people can't maintain discipline is emotional decision-making. When mood is good, goals seem big. When mood is bad, the same goals seem meaningless. Discipline is the way out of that emotional roller coaster. Mentally strong people make their decisions first. Emotions come after. Their schedule doesn't change with mood. Mood adjusts to the schedule. The most practical way to control your mind is self-talk. How you talk to yourself determines how you perform under pressure. Weak self-talk creates excuses. Can't do it today. That's just who I am. Other people are lucky. Disciplined self-talk takes responsibility. This isn't easy, but it's possible. I don't need to be perfect. I need to be consistent. This internal language slowly shapes your actions. Discipline teaches you to tolerate discomfort. Your mind naturally wants to avoid pain and seek pleasure. This wiring pulls you towards short-term comfort. Mentally strong people don't treat pain as an enemy. They treat it as a growth signal. Once you stop running from discomfort, discipline starts to feel effortless. A disciplined mind doesn't fight distractions, and it doesn't negotiate with them either. It simply sets boundaries. Reacting to every notification, satisfying every urge, isn't freedom, it's slavery. True freedom comes when you decide where your attention goes. Attention is the most valuable currency of life, and disciplined people don't waste it. When you start training your mind, resistance will show up first. Your mind will try to convince you that this is all unnecessary, that you should just enjoy life. But mentally strong people know that real enjoyment comes when there's no guilt. Discipline eliminates guilt because you know you've done your work. In the end, you can't directly control your life, but you can train your mind. And once the mind becomes disciplined, life starts aligning on its own. Control isn't found outside. Control is built inside, and that is the real power of the disciplined mindset. Chapter 4. The comfort zone is the silent enemy of growth. Most people believe their problems are caused by external circumstances. Too little time, too few resources, the wrong people, or bad luck. But if you look honestly, the real enemy is often very quiet. So quiet that people don't even recognize it as an enemy. That enemy is the comfort zone. The comfort zone is dangerous not because it hurts, but because it slowly puts your potential to sleep. The real test of discipline begins exactly where comfort ends. The comfort zone makes you feel safe. It convinces you that what's currently happening is fine. But growth never comes from safety. Mentally strong people don't avoid discomfort. They deliberately choose it. They know that every time they choose the harder path over the easier one, they're making their mind stronger. This is discipline, accepting short-term pain for long-term power. When you stay in comfort, your mind becomes an expert at making excuses. Now isn't the right time. Let me prepare a bit more. I'll have more energy tomorrow. These excuses sound logical, but in reality, they're just the language of the comfort zone. Disciplined people don't argue with excuses. They make them irrelevant through action. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They take imperfect action. Discomfort initially creates fear. New work, new routine, new responsibility, everything brings resistance. But that very resistance is a sign you're heading in the right direction. Mentally strong people don't see resistance as a sign of failure. They see it as a growth indicator. Discipline teaches you to walk alongside fear, not run from it. The biggest damage the comfort zone causes is that it slows you down. You stay busy every day, but you're not productive. Discipline prioritizes productivity, not just activity. Disciplined people ask themselves, am I doing what's difficult today or just what's familiar? This question slowly changes their daily choices. When you keep choosing discomfort consistently, your mind starts adapting. What once felt heavy starts to feel normal. That is mental strength. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. If you don't use discipline, it weakens, and the comfort zone becomes even more powerful. Discipline teaches you that comfort is immediate, but regret lasts long. Mentally strong people fear regret, not discomfort. They know today's small struggle becomes tomorrow's greater clarity. In the end, growth never feels comfortable. If your life feels too comfortable, maybe you're not taking on enough challenge. Discipline is like that quiet voice reminding you every day. If it feels easy, maybe that's the problem. Stepping out of the comfort zone can be painful, but that's exactly where your real strength is hidden. Chapter 5. Self-control is the real superpower. People often see discipline as some strict lifestyle or forced routine, but the most powerful form of discipline is self-control. Self-control doesn't mean stopping everything. It means deciding what to say no to right now, so you can say a much bigger yes in the future. Mentally strong people aren't slaves to their impulses. They're owners of their choices. Every person has two voices inside them. One voice wants immediate pleasure. Scroll a bit more, skip it today, do it later. The other voice sees the long-term vision, goals, growth, respect, freedom. Discipline is the process of strengthening that second voice. Self-control doesn't mean waiting for the urge to disappear. It means taking the right action while the urge is still there. Today's world is distraction-driven. Every app, every notification, every offer is designed to steal your attention. If you react to every external trigger, your life becomes reactive. Mentally disciplined people are proactive. They set boundaries in advance. When the phone will be used, when not, what to consume, what not to. Self-control is the art of building boundaries. To develop self-control, relying on willpower alone isn't enough. Willpower is limited, but systems are unlimited. Disciplined people don't fight temptation. Instead, they build an environment that keeps temptation away. If junk food isn't in front of you, avoiding it doesn't take strength. If distraction isn't nearby, focus becomes natural. That's smart discipline. A big part of self-control is delayed gratification. Mentally strong people know that not every reward comes immediately. They trust the process, not the result. When you keep working without an immediate reward, your mind gets trained to understand that satisfaction can come from progress, not just pleasure. This thinking becomes the foundation of long-term success. Self-control earns you respect, first in your own eyes. When you win over your impulses, your self-image changes. You start seeing yourself as dependable, not weak. And once self-respect is built, discipline stops being an external force. It becomes an internal standard. Mentally strong people don't chase perfection. They know sometimes they'll slip. Temptation will win. But the difference is, they don't turn one slip into an excuse. Self-control doesn't mean being flawless. It means regaining ground quickly. You fall, you get up, and you move forward, without drama, without guilt. In the end, self-control isn't punishment, it's power. It's the power that frees you from distraction, frees you from compulsion, and frees you from regret. Once you learn to control your impulses, the outside world naturally starts to feel smaller. That is the real superpower of the disciplined mindset. Chapter 6. Consistency beats speed every single time. Most people, when they set a goal, focus on just one thing: fast results. They want fast progress, they want instant transformation, and if a big change is invisible within a few weeks, their discipline starts to break. Mentally strong people think differently. Their focus isn't on speed, it's on consistency. They know that slow progress, if done daily, becomes unstoppable. Speed satisfies the ego. Consistency builds identity. When you start too fast, burnout often comes just as fast. Discipline doesn't mean breaking yourself every day. It means showing up every day. Mentally disciplined people don't make extreme efforts. They make sustainable efforts. They build routines they can follow even on bad days. The biggest advantage of consistency is that it reduces pressure. When you know you only have to do today's work, the goal doesn't feel overwhelming. Disciplined people don't think about climbing the whole mountain, they focus on the next step. This approach controls anxiety and sharpens focus. People often see consistency as boring. The same work every day, the same routine, the same process. But mentally strong people aren't afraid of boredom. They know boredom is the gateway to mastery. When you can work even without excitement, that's when you go from amateur to professional. Discipline doesn't make you glamorous. Discipline makes you reliable. Consistency compounds results. One day's effort doesn't change much, but 100 days of effort changes your identity. Small improvements, done daily, have an exponential effect. Mentally strong people don't look for immediate feedback. They have faith in a process that's invisible right now but will be undeniable in the future. Consistency doesn't mean rigidity. Disciplined people are flexible, but not in their principles. If plan A doesn't work, they build plan B, but they don't change the goal. They can adjust their schedule, but not their commitment. This mental maturity is what makes discipline long-lasting. When you build consistency, confidence comes automatically. You don't need to motivate yourself separately because you know you're the person who takes action every day. Self-doubt is born from the gap between action and intention. Consistency closes that gap. In the end, remember, success isn't a race where the fastest one wins. Success is the journey where the one who doesn't stop wins. Discipline doesn't make you fast. Discipline makes you lasting. And once you become lasting, winning stops being a question. It just becomes a matter of time. Conclusion. In the end, if the entire journey is summed up in one line, discipline isn't a temporary push. It isn't a 21-day challenge, and it isn't a mood-based habit either. Discipline is an identity, a reflection of what kind of person you consider yourself to be. Mentally strong people aren't different because they have more motivation. They're different because they've trained their mind to prioritize commitments over feelings. Discipline doesn't make you perfect. Discipline makes you dependable. It doesn't stop you from falling, but it always gives you the strength to get back up. When you practice discipline every day, excuses gradually grow weaker, distractions lose their power, and self-doubt loses its grip. You stop trying to control the outside world because you know the real control lies within you. The most powerful shift happens when discipline stops being a burden and becomes a standard. You don't do the work because someone's watching. You do it because you hold yourself to that level. This internal standard is what determines the quality of your life. Comfort can make you feel good today, but discipline makes you feel proud tomorrow. If you've genuinely understood even one thing from this video, let it be this. Mental strength doesn't come suddenly. It's built every day. Every small decision, every boring routine, every uncomfortable action. Together, these build the person you want to become in the future. Discipline connects you to that future, while others are left simply dreaming. Now, the question isn't whether you can develop discipline or not. The question is, are you ready to leave comfort, to challenge your excuses, and to choose consistency every single day? Because the day you make discipline your identity, that day your life will start turning in a whole new direction on its own. Thank you.